Welcome back to Imperator Rome. My name is Tobal. By the way, I'm pretty sure it's Imperatu, right? I don't know. I figured it'd be a little bit easier to say Imperator all the time rather than Imperatu, but you never know. You never know. Maybe that's the preferred pronunciation. So, welcome back. Last episode, we are conquering everyone and bringing civilization to the world. Let's take a look at this new invention we have. We don't have any more advanced options yet. We're still halfway to the next level of our kind of level 1 advances. So, I don't know, trireme, discipline, military artisans, learning on the job. Here we go. Standardized measures would give us a flat 5% commerce income bonus. We've been really ratcheting up that commerce income, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that to boost that up. Another nation has threatened, so Egypt, is this, yeah, Egypt has threatened Nabatea with basically getting stomped, so they have folded and given them some of their territory. Can I threaten people now too? Like, can I go over here to good old Etruria, the Etruscans, and be like, hey, listen up, buddy. Threaten war. Force them to cede a city we have a claim on, or we will declare war. I don't know if I want to go that route or not. All right, so going back to what I had said last episode, I want to start looking into how to build certain buildings in all these different cities we have. So if we take a look, let me slow the game down just a notch. It actually does progress pretty fast too. I noticed it doesn't seem, I mean, obviously we're not seeing, I don't know, does it feel faster to you, or is it maybe just me thinking about it? But the days seem to go by a lot faster, so I find myself pausing quite often to make sure I still have a handle on things. So each of these cities has a certain maximum number of buildings that can be built. So we could, for example, order the construction of marketplaces, training camps, or granaries. Now, I don't know if there's a certain, if your governor does this automatically, is that why we keep getting, I don't think it's why we're getting different trade goods. I do believe that was because, hey, we've got a daughter. I do believe that was because we just conquered all this new territory, so we had a bunch of goodies to trade and hand out. But if we go back to our province, now, I don't remember if I've seen any cities get, anything get built here. Did we start off with maybe 0 out of 2 in Ostia, and our government choice, our governor choice has made the building? So each of your regions, each of your provinces, you can assign a governor policy. Now, if you force someone to change it, they'll have a little bit of tyranny from doing that. So you want to be a little bit careful. We've got, now Latium obviously is our biggest provider of money, and it's our highest population. So currently it's set to acquisition of wealth, which increases the local tax and the commerce income, which I think is fine. Marcus Valerius Corvus died of severe inflammation. He wasn't he our general? I don't think so. He was a member of the military faction, so that's sad. I think that means we have an opening now, though, in the government. If I go over to the government tab, sure enough, he was our praetor. He was the one who managed the money and conduct of foreign and domestic trade. So if we go hunting for the next praetor, what I could do is try to see if anyone's interested in becoming a praetor. Sure enough, Quintus Marcia Philippus wants to become the praetor. So and I don't know if I click him, it's going to assign it to him. What was his crazy name again? Let's see. Marcus Quintus Marcia Philippus. He's of the Marcia family. So if I go into characters, families, look for the Marcii. There we go. Marcia, yeah. It doesn't tell me what happens when, oh, here we go. If the ambition is fulfilled, he gains 100 gold, and he would get 5 loyalty. I mean, sure, why not? He seems like a pretty decent guy. No corruption. Not exactly the most zealous of sorts, but he will do fine, I think, in that role. So, let me go back to the government screen, Praetor, and I'm going to choose him over Quintus Fabius, mostly because Quintus has 10 corruption, and he doesn't have that particular interest or that particular ambition. So, there you go. I don't know if that gives us more of a bonus with the faction or not either. I'm sure there's really subtle things. We do have another one of these. The prefect has friends in where? Etruria? Again, one of the areas that we're going to be probably trying to take over. Although, no, hang on a minute. If we become friends with Etruria, that might help integrate them on our own without war. Although, are you guys still at war? How have you not lost this war yet? Oh, it's a huge war. Etruria is at war with all of these different people? Dude, are you super screwed? How are you still functioning? Oh, it's like a defensive league versus a defensive league. Croton, Metapontum, Etruria, and Hipponion are at war with a bunch of other powers. So it seems like a lot of the action's happening down here. We would lose 60 gold, gain 20 opinion of Rome. I mean, you know what? Let's try the carrot instead of the stick. Let's see if we can't work this relationship up to a point where they're going to want to become our subject. So I'm going to go ahead and go into relations and start improving our relationship here just a bit. I can also send gold to try to influence that relationship as well over time. So we'll see. Also, there is a bit of a delay when you send a diplomat to do anything to kind of emphasize the delay it would take for someone to get there and get back. I still think it's probably pretty short in terms of how long it would actually take someone to walk or take a horse from, you know, Rome down to Etruria, but it's good that it's there. So we were talking about building buildings here and all the different governor roles. So we currently in Rome, we're getting a pretty God, of course, we're getting like events left and right. Our tribal neighbor Sabinia has started investing a lot of their treasure into opening up the borders between our two nations. So it's just a flat amount of money, and they get a higher relationship with us. Sure, sounds great. So we have the governor policy of acquisition of wealth. We could change this to a number of things. Let me pause this so we can go through them real quick. Religious conversion will help to convert, obviously, to either your religion or your culture. Bleed them dry is a very strong tax and commerce income bonus, but it will start increasing unrest. So basically, bleed them dry is a more severe version of acquisition of wealth. Borderlands will increase the local manpower, which I think would be really helpful if you're really short on manpower overall. Encourage trade is a local import route +1 plus 10%. Commerce income. Social mobility. One pop in every applicable province city will be promoted or demoted, aiming at reaching an even split. Huh. This will not convert tribesmen. So is the goal to have an even split pretty much? I'm guessing if this is an option that basically automates for you, it automates the function for you, maybe it's going to be useful. Local autonomy is going to increase everyone's happiness, but the populations will be giving you less of their output. Yeah, so I get the citizens for sure. They give us research points, and if we go into, let me unpause the game here. If we go back into our technology, that's where these are coming from. So research points are all of these, all of the citizens are giving us these points every month, and that goes into our overall progress. So having a large amount of citizens is going to be very, very important. But in situations like this where we have no tribesmen, what does that mean? You know, that's what I would love to know. Each tribesman at 150 output in the city would provide a certain amount of benefits, 1 tax, local manpower. We have an election soon. We are going to get replaced, 455 in October. Currently, Censor Quintus Fabius Rullianus is the leading candidate to win. Can we influence these elections, by the way? Seek treatment. Oh, he's frail and he has arthritis, so I could offer to pay. That's really interesting. Seek treatment for arthritis. We would lose 100 gold. I'm guessing that's going to make him more friendly with us. I don't see anything about helping someone in office. Well, we don't know who the candidates are. Hang on. It is Quintus Fabius, Publius Cornelius, Quintus Fabius, Quintus Marcus, or no? Who's someone named Lucius? Here we go. Can I go ahead and do anything with him? Not really. I don't see a way to influence. Oh, they lost a child. Well, that's depressing. I don't see a way to try to influence this election at all. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. I guess we're just going to let it play out. I don't know if that's going to be super important later on, or maybe you can obviously take a look at who the leading candidates are and maybe kill the leading candidate somehow, or you could smear their reputation if you want someone else to take their place. I don't think I really care at this point. I'm not sure which one's which. I don't know if we want someone depressed as the consul of Rome, though. I mean, whatever. He's gonna, if he dies, someone else will take his place. So the elections are coming up. We've got some scorned families, which we know. I'm gonna right click on both of these, and yet another invention. Army morale recovery higher, omen power stronger. I think at this point, I still don't really know what the tribesmen do, but I'm going to go ahead and select national tribesman output. It seems like each of these different groups gives us a certain type of resource, right? So they're giving us more manpower. Is it the more population you have, the less effective they are? Because right now each tribesman at 155 output. Let's promote one. Well, we don't know where they go. They seem to like disappear. All right, I'm going to move one of these buggers over here. I want you to move. I lack the 20. I lack the civic power to even do that. Well, fair enough. So if I look at another city that's got a small amount of tribesmen, yeah, the 2 tribesmen pops at 122 output. Freemen. So I think the higher amount of a population you have, the less effective they are. Or is it a balance thing? Yeah, so these 3 tribesmen are having more of an output. Base tax higher, local manpower higher. Interesting. Trade route has disappeared. We're no longer importing grain from province to province. We have a new governor. It is Quintus Fabius Rulianus. We also have an opening on the bench, right? In the government. We have a new censor position because he was the censor. Does anyone want to be the censor, I should ask? Tribunus plebis. Apparently Tribunus plebis is what everyone aspires to be. Okay, well, guess what? It's going to get assigned to Fabius here because he has decent charisma. He's pretty loyal and he has a little bit of corruption, but I think that goes down every month at the moment. Corruption changes. Oh, no, actually changes by 0. Looks like they even out. We now have the option of calling down yet another omen, so we're still ahead right now in taxes, but I think I wouldn't mind bumping up the commerce because I feel like if we conquer a couple more areas, we're going to get even more commerce available to us because we're going to start exporting even more. Although, let's see what else we can do. Manpower, discipline, aggressive expansion change. That wouldn't be bad to reduce that aggressive expansionism. Research point, I think, would also be really strong too. We are making, to be fair, we're making quite a bit of money at this point. So maybe we don't have to worry about increasing either of our incomes. And I'm torn between research points. 11% research points is going to get us to these different levels of technology. Although I do really think that aggressive expansion is going to become a problem as we continue to, take over more of the Italian peninsula. So I'm going to take the blessing of Jupiter, start reducing that aggressive expansionism even more after. So once we start doing our takeover here of all of our subjects, I will change our stance as well over to what was it? Appeasing? I think appeasing is the one that reduces the aggressive expansion. What is our relationship at? You're at 150. We're still increasing their relationships. No one's quite at the area to do start integration. I kind of bet. So I'm guessing at some point, if we actually get that integration option, the game might pop up a notification to tell you, like a banner, that's going to let you know that it's about time to start integrating one of your subjects. So that would make sense to me if they had that available. All right, so our tyranny score has almost been reduced to nothing. We've talked a little bit about all these different governor options. Ooh, what is this? And so NOLA has seen a huge influx of visitors lately, one being one of the cities Hercules passed through. The stories have flourished lately. This is a prime opportunity to build upon the myth, to honor the hero, and increase the potential commerce in NOLA. Let us make sure we make the most out of these myths. We lose 50 religious power, and they get a bonus for 10 years, local tax increase, and army movement speed. Well, sure. Why not? We will hold a small festival. This gives us 10 more years morale of armies and omen power. I think I'm going to take the tax and army movement speed. Our morale is... Ooh, hang on. Morale of armies 10% overall? Blessing of strength? Yeah, that's actually really, really strong. You would gain religious power here. Yeah, morale of armies 10% is going to be a really, really helpful bonus. We have another unused trade route, or it actually got canceled. Maybe, yeah, I think it actually got canceled. We were importing livestock. So now we can import, I can see a couple new things. We have salt, that's new. This reduces the maintenance cost of the army when exporting. No, when exporting it reduces it. And the surplus in the capital means we would have a reduced cost, but I don't think we have a surplus. Oh, we would have a surplus because we already get it. One produced in one of our cities here. So I'm going to go ahead and import salt to try to reduce the army cost. What else we have? Olives, slave happiness, wine. Army maintenance costs reduced as well. So, now, our slaves, do we have any kind of an issue in terms of happiness levels? Province by loyalty. All the loyalty is going up. Do I have an overall happiness indicator too? This is culture. I think I have to click on the pops themselves to see their happiness levels. Are the slaves happy? The slaves are super happy. So, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and not import any of the olives or wine. I'm going to go ahead and take the salt import from Venetia. There we go. A little bit of a bonus for us. Awesome. All right, what else do we got? I think the next thing I'd like to do is look at taking Etruria, the Etruscan culture here. They have a Cassius Belli against Sabinia. They are guaranteeing a country farther up to the north here. Military access, exporting, importing. So it's going to be a straight fight. 23 cohorts versus our 30-ish. Plus, of course, all of our allies who are going to come to this war as well. We're still going to be improving relationships for a bit. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put my first cut in here. We're going to do a bit of a fast forward, and I'll be back here in just a bit. Maybe once our AE has gone down a little bit more. Okay, so we're at the point right now where one of our subject nations, Marcia here, where are they at? They are pretty much at the point where we're going to be able to send a gift, a very, very small gift, like 6 gold, and this is going to raise our relationship by 25. So this puts them at the required amount to integrate. Okay, so we have to wait for the diplomat to get back. And it looks like we have full permission or full support of the Senate to go ahead and... Oh, we actually demand the annexation. Interesting. Suspicious of gifts. They are going to give us religious power for a favor. I'm going to actually say... Oh, damn, 40 loyalty. Yeah, they already owe them one favor. I don't really want to start stacking the favors. You know what? This is life, my friend. You're pretty old, though. You're going to be going at some point soon. So we're going to say this better be left alone. Oh, now he's actually disloyal. Well, this is a new aspect that we'll get to explore a bit. All right, here we go. Start integration. Diplomatic annexation allows us to integrate a client state, feudatory, or satrapy into our nation without declaring war. So we have enough support behind us to go ahead and push this through without too much trouble from the Senate. Do you wish to fully integrate the Latin local power of Marcia? They will no longer be another nation, but instead ruled directly by our local governors. Keep the population in check. Yeah. We want to make our name their name. Excellent. So they are being taken over by us. Does this count against our... Where did it go? Under politics here? Diplomacy? It still doesn't count as an active relationship. Fair. Let's take a look at this disloyal character thing. What does this do for us now, or against us? Are they going to start aggressively being a pain in our ass here, or what? Give Publius Cornelius free hands. Free hands will cost 10 loyalty to revoke. Monthly loyalty increase. Oh, okay. So if I want to kind of bribe him back, I can basically say, look, do whatever you want. I don't care. And it's going to make him a little bit more loyal to us. I think we would pay... Oh, you know what? This is a really easy way to counter half of the stuff we lost. He'll gain a little bit of corruption. We'll gain a little bit of corruption. But both of us have a very low amount to begin with, and this should cancel at least half of what we just lost in loyalty back. I'll spend just a tiny amount of oratory power there. That's fine. We could also try to make friends with him. Now, he's either the leader. He is the head. No, he's the head of the family. He's not the head of the religious faction, though. Or was he? No, this is our guy. Where does it say... Faction, religious faction. It doesn't say he's actually the leader of the faction, though. He's also going to be the next consul, so we want to set him up for success, although he is 57, so maybe he won't have that much time left. Let's go ahead and start the process of making friends with him. Maybe we should try to make friends with all the factions. I don't know if that's going to be a smart idea or not. By the way, let's take our army here and click on the map mode on the Amphora. So we've got about... I'm kind of giving a feel for how much supply is in Etruscan lands here. 19, 17, 15. So we really don't want to take our armies too much above the current limit. That's fair. I mean, I kind of like the breakdown right now. It seems to be working okay. I don't think we've had too much trouble. It looks like when you save and load a game, you lose your flank preferred size for some reason. So that looks to be one little bug there. Exotic gifts. Wild beasts from the far corners of the earth make for eye-catching and exotic gifts. Which impressive beast to send? So this is part of the activity when you're trying to make friends with someone. So this, if we order a tiger, it will come directly from our funds instead of Rome. So the the consul will lose 100 gold, but it will make large amount of progress towards befriending our religious faction friend. So I'm going to be okay with that. We're about to get another nation ready to switch over to the integration stuff. Any moment now, one more month, I think. We can publicly praise our good friend's deeds here. Moderate, moderate, moderate. So this is just letting us choose which of these resources we want to use. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice a bull to his name since we actually have quite a bit of religious power here. 190. Oh, sorry, it's not 170 opinion. It's 190. Well, if I do another gift here, that should be enough to push us over the limit as well. And then here's a simple bribe. So a large amount we would give, your ruler gives Publius 250 of their personal wealth. 100 would give us a moderate. We've already done a couple of large, we've done a large step and a medium step. So let's just do another medium. I don't think we need to go crazy overboard. We don't want to make our ruler completely broke. This guy has like the face, the baby face of a teenager, but the beard of an experienced warrior. I like the random face generation stuff we've got going on here. All right, I'm waiting for our diplomat to come back, and our efforts have paid off. We now have a friendship between us and the leader of the religious faction. There we go. There's our option for integration. We're going to start them up as well. Excellent. We also can bribe Frentania now, too. Bribing everyone. That's what Rome does. Like I said, give them the stick, not the carrot. Let's try a different form of warfare, right? A little bit of the political and diplomatic warfare, maybe? Is that even a thing? I think that's a oxymoron. All right, so what else is happening here? Let's build some stuff in the city, in Latium. Let's go ahead and start firing up. I'm going to use the macro builder. Convert. Oh, this is kind of cool. Hang on, let's do this. We could promote from here, can't we? Interesting. So we can actually aggressively promote from the overview map. Might be kind of nice. Local manpower plus 10 research points. Right. It would at least lets us go over the cities directly to see kind of what the balance is, and if there's any issues. Like, there doesn't seem to be any tribesmen here. Why did you go directly to... Oh, he promoted you directly to... Oh, I'm promoting the slaves to freemen. That's where they were going. You can't promote into tribesmen. Okay, so the tribesmen have to come in, I'm guessing. Very interesting. I have no idea where the tribesman faction comes from. By the way, we finally have enough military power to get our first military tradition. We have the options of artisanal bronze work, which gives us light infantry defense. This tree is it looks like light options, light cavalry, enslavement efficiency, enslave output, light infantry morale, trireme cost, national manpower, and archer hill combat bonus. We also have what looks to be some naval stuff. Ooh, siege would be not too bad. I do like this option. Trireme morale is kind of meh, but the siege engineers +1, siege ability stronger, construct border fort would be kind of nice. I do like the ability to construct Roman roads, too. Man, this border fort would be actually really, really useful. The scutum, the shield, the traditional, very large, tall, rectangular Roman shield, Federati, general loyalty +3, and hold triumph cost reduced. I'm going to go down the Principatry, though. I want to make sure we have a very, very strong heavy infantry. Now, would it matter? Should I just commit completely to heavy infantry and just stick this light infantry thing in the background, or what? We do more damage to chariots, heavy cavalry, and light infantry. We're kind of going to be the only... Wouldn't we be the only heavy infantry power out there? And it's not like we get a reduction against fellow heavy infantry. Does anyone do a bonus to heavy infantry? Not that we have. I mean, there could be something that does a bonus. Can I go into the recruitment menu? Let's see. I'm going to go into here and here. So who does damage to heavy infantry? So horse archers would be doing damage to heavy infantry. That's pretty much it. So the only thing that makes sense, obviously. The only place where Rome really struggled was some of the guerrilla tactics by Gaul, of course, but also primarily a lot of the horse archers in the steppes. I don't remember which nation or which region in particular that kind of kicked their asses, but would just whittle them down because they had unending supply of arrows and they could never reach them, even in a testudo formation or something like that. So then it makes sense maybe just to go full print. I mean, obviously it's more expensive, but at this point, I mean, we're pretty rich, right? I don't think I really need to. Maybe I'll let these other units die out over time, and I'll start combining. As you start taking losses, you can combine and consolidate certain cohorts. So if these two cohorts, for example, have reduced manpower, they both have 500, I could combine them, and all their manpower would be under one cohort. So maybe I'll reduce them until there's barely like just one light infantry left, and then at that point I will disband them, or as another option, hey, our writer's finished. What in the world? No. This is the same guy. You're such a liar. You didn't finish my original book. Go away. Maybe that was another playthrough that I had that happen. I've kind of like blended together all the different tries I've had at this game. So, okay, so here's an idea. So instead of disbanding the light infantry, we know it costs about 5,000 manpower to siege a fort, right? This is a level 1 fort. This is a level 1 fort. We could have basically two fort forces, right? So I could do something like create a new unit. I could take all... Oh, damn, some of them are loyal to our general. Let's do this. Let's split off a bit of the light infantry. Yeah, we know we're lacking commanders. Let's split off all the light infantry that I can. I may have to... Wow, God, a lot of people are loyal over here. So, how many of you are loyal to our good general? Holy crap, you've got a ton that are loyal to Publius Sempronius. I could do the reward veterans. This costs 124 gold and up to 4 cohorts. We can't pick which ones are which, though, which is rather annoying. I think, let's see, what else could we do? Well, we could actually split the army out with people who are unloyal to him. Basically this. So then we've got our actual army that we want to keep. Here's his directly loyal army. Damn, 7,000? That's crazy. That's a ton of troops. You know what? Fine. We'll use him as one of the sieging forces, right? We'll use the 4,000 from here. And then what's left is going to be 2,000 light cavalry, 2 units of heavy infantry, and some archers. You're one of our other cavalry units. Let's combine you together. Combine you guys together, and we'll do a little bit more mathing here. Okay, so what do we have left? We've got 2,000 units that are loyal to that general. I'm going to go ahead and just bribe these veterans. Going to pay a little bit of money, and we don't have any problems with loyalty now. Now they're all, we can do with them as we please. So let's take the light infantry, send them over to this stack. So now we've got 2 stacks that I'm going to use as our sieging forces. And now, I wonder if can I just get rid of the archers? I don't like archers that much. I really, if I'm going to, because we have to, if you think about it, the weight, oh man, that sucks too. The attrition weight is increased with heavy infantry. So having a massive stack of infantry is going to increase the weight quite a bit. We could have a 10 stack of infantry. What is the light cavalry? That does, there's no change in the attrition weight at all. I'll tell you what, let's build up to 10 principes. I'm going to go ahead and kill off the archers. Or at least just separate the archers for the moment. Let's move them off to the side. We still have quite a few of the cavalry too. So let's split off, or is the cavalry loyal to? No. Let's split off the cavalry into, if we're going to build up a second legion, another main legion, we'll want 2 cavalry units on the flanks there as well. Invention, we can go ahead and continue that. Oh, wow, we're about to pop our research progress too. So let's go ahead and pick, or you know what, let's wait. Let's see what comes up after we get to level 1 of our martial advances. Sure enough, there we go. We hit level 1 in oratory and martial. So we have some flat bonuses here. It looks like it is plus 0.1 to morale of both Army and Navy. It does increase the maintenance cost a little bit, but it reduces the tradition cost. So I probably should have just waited a minute, and I could have had the first tradition cost at, what, 600 or so? So I got a little bit overzealous there, but that's all right. We didn't unlock anything. Oh, it changes. These are all different now. Oh, so if you want any of them beforehand, you got to kind of jump at it, huh? So we have new things. We have the supply. This is going to increase the supply limit, which I kind of like. That's going to make everything a little bit easier to traverse, especially since we're talking about increasing the overall army weight, the attrition weight. Siege ability would be nice too, but that's mostly just a patience thing. Heavy infantry discipline would be great too, but we're already a pretty highly disciplined unit. I'm going to take the supply limit increase here first. I should also look at the new oratory advances, reduction in aggressive expansion, although we're almost out. We've almost cleaned off all of our bad boy, our aggressive expansion cost. Tyranny reduction as well, and 2 levels of aggressive expansion? Oh, the impact. Okay, so we might want to take this before the end of our next war, so we reduce the impact of taking all of that territory. Yeah. We will take the supply bonus. That's basically a bunch of supply cores here. Awesome. I'm just curious to see what happens with the different weights involved, honestly. Once I have a better feel for what this legion is turned out to be, I will make a decision on whether we're going to mirror it with another one or not. I guess I still will need someone else here to help out. Can I just say primary cohorts for both? Oh, I can. Interesting. Yeah, Principes for days, man. Principes for days. Let's do it. Send them right up the middle. Wrath of Rome in your face. Okay, so we are at 12,000 manpower. Our weight with the Legion, with the second Legion, is 17. So the 50% attrition weight. But I think, for the most part, there's only a couple provinces where we can't go in the new enemy's territory. So that's not too shabby. So it seems like this is a decent setting right now. Let's go ahead and mirror that. How much money do we have? We've got a ton. Let's queue it up. Let's do, can I shift build? Control Alt, nope. All right, we're going to blow through that money like it's just burned in a hole in our toga. And awesome. We've also got our scouts, which I do want to use. I think I'm going to beef up my scouts just a bit. I want to have them strong enough where they can... Ooh, in fact, I can mix in a bit of the professional heavy horse in here. Do you want to have heavy horse on our flanks or just light infantry or light horse? Oh wow, the equites, the professional horses would, the heavy horse would actually increase our weight by 100%. So stacking those on top of an already heavy legion would probably not be the best route. Okay, good enough. What do we want the archers to do? I guess they can just hang out and be, you know, somewhat useful. Or I can just disband them. No, I'm just going to disband them. Oh, hang on. Did that say a thing? Let's see. It will make us lose 1,000 men from one cohort. We will have to pay them money. So yeah, it doesn't actually go back to the local manpower pool. Oh, I hit escape at a wrong time. I don't actually know what that message said whatsoever. All right, here's our second legion. I'm going to go ahead and choose a new commander. Does anyone want to be... Oh, interesting. These are some military type traits. We have 2 young adults. Now, one of them is content. One of them wants to be appointed dictator. That's our current consul. We could have, again, the same thing we did before with Publius and assign our current consul as general. He is a very good general. Yeah, let's do it. Welcome to the 7th Legion. We've already skipped ahead just a bit in Legion numbers. All right, so we're keeping in mind that this is our kind of our what did I say that was? The sieging units, right? Yeah. Excellent. How are you? Are you good? Yeah, you're okay too. Small favor, a dreadful suggestion. Damn it. This is our good friend Publius Sempronii. We would lose some loyalty. Are you now the leader of the civic faction? Yeah, you are the leader of the civic faction. Wow, we have a ton of military seats in the House right now, in the Senate. You know what? We've been good friends with the Sempronii family, though. I feel like that's not a horrible thing to gain some support and owe them a favor. Yeah, we're going to do it. We have another trader out that just opened up. We can get wood now. It's going to, each surplus is going to give us local tax increase. Stone and vegetables are new. Stone seems like, ooh, surplus and capital for the build cost might be nice too, if we're about to go crazy on building. In fact, ooh, earthenware, research points 5%. That seems like the smartest of all the choices. Like I mentioned before, we're pretty rich, so it's not like we have, it's going to hurt us terribly much, I say, as we're about to start going broke. Let's go ahead and grab the earthenware. I'm curious if that's going to, well, we can't do it. Why does it say, oh, because of the trade relationship, or with our overall relationship is not high enough yet. Well, don't be a sourpuss. Give us our freaking earthenware. All right, what about these, the stone for the build cost? We could import this from Mosia or Latobica. Latobicia. Fort defense, fort defense. We don't want fort defense. We want the other bonuses. So, all right, we're going to skip that for the moment. I'm going to go back to the invention tree. I'm going to take the heavy infantry discipline, because we're about to do some fancy shock and awe stuff. We want to continue getting these trade offers in. All right, so we've got, why do we have 2 mixed armies? Okay, there we go. We've got 2 of these light cohort. I think, did I want to do anything with them? We've got 1 scouting unit here. This is 2 light. Here's 2 light. Let's stack these 2 together. This is going to be our scouting unit. I'm going to give them the order to do reconnaissance. I'm going to give this unit the order to have their own independent operations. I will manually control everyone else. So, are we ready to go to war? Yay or nay? They are going to support, they being the Senate, is completely fine with supporting a declaration of war on Etruria. So, heck yeah, we're going to get into it. All right, they're at war right now, too. Someone actually just took over one of their cities. Who are they at war with? I should check this out. They're at war with Umbria and Picentia. Where's Picentia? Is that way up north here? Oh, it's a small little province along the eastern coast of the Italian peninsula. Umbria is a little bit bigger. Umbria seems to have grown a bit. They can support 10 cohorts. The Etruscans are up to 23. We're still going to be able to smash them, I believe, without too much trouble, he said right before everything went to hell. All right, we're going to take Etruria as our war goal. Of course, all of our allies are going to join us, even though some of them are about to become part of Rome. Done and done. Did we just lose? No, we didn't lose our progress. By the way, can we start the integration on anyone else? We can start the integration here, and everyone supports it. Who else is left? Nuceria is just short. I'm going to go ahead and finish them off with a gift, and we should start being able to integrate them as well. All right, let's do it. Let's send our legions in. We're going to let our scouts do the scouting thing. Where are the forts located at? We've got one up front, there and there. Okay, so I'm going to put my legions in a supporting position behind the 2 forts. I'm going to have my... I got to wait for this to stack with this. We're going to take Publius over here to the fort at Vetluna, which is the capital of the Etruscan nation. We're going to wait for these two folks to stack. Wait a minute. I need... Oh, you guys are so dumb. I need to manually control this guy for just a split second here. Stay still. No, sorry. I didn't mean to actually interrupt your orders. Go do reconnaissance. There's a stack of 6,000 enemy troops. Half of their morale is gone, so I'm going to go ahead and immediately try to get into them. 3 July, they're out of there. 6 July, we're out of there. But if I go back and do a forced march, we should very easily catch up. Let's take a look at our actions, by the way. We would get 83 effectiveness to our shock action if we chose that, or if we chose bottleneck. So it's just a matter of which one do we think they're going to pick. They're both of these are more effective. I'm going to stay with the shock tactic for the moment. We're now going to intercept that stack, which is great. Boom, there we go. We've got another one of our sieging units, and I'm going to send them to the fort over here at... is this a fort? It is. Curtoon? Like Katoon, but more curtains? Sure. We immediately crushed that enemy unit. All of them, like, insta-pop so fast I didn't even get a chance to see what happened. Now, we do have a stack of the enemy across the river, so if they cross over to fight us, they would get a negative. Can we go ahead and move laterally here? We could, so I could try to get myself into a position where we are hidden from the fog of war. Would be kind of nice. Oh, hang on, this is actually the faction that I want. Or the army that I want. I'm going to move this army, the 7th Legion, over into this hillside. I want you guys to start taking territory here. I totally said I would let them do their own thing, but now I want to order them around a bit. We are going to have to use our navy to get over to Corsica, by the way. So I think I need to, I kind of forgot about this last time, I need to put in an order for some more triremes. I think I'm going to do about, I don't know, let's do 6. Let's get a nice even 10 units of navy. Great. Let's also remove the forced march thing here. What I'm curious about, what I'm trying to get these supporting armies to do is to conquer these areas. So I'm wondering how we get the unit to be invisible again, because I want the enemy to think that we're a lot stronger than we are. So I want them to come across the river and attack us, although they're sieging an enemy territory right now. So it's not like they're going to be done anytime soon. I could come up into Sentinum. We cannot move here as the unit lacks access. Would you allow us military access? Not so much. You're pretty grumpy. Fair enough. By the way, speaking of people who are grumpy and things, we can now integrate Nuceria. So now all 4 of our subject states are being integrated with Rome. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Our allies... Oh, no. Who are you? Are we helping you? I guess we are helping you here. We'll go ahead and send the 1st Legion on to their capital. We'll go ahead and put the scouting unit into reconnaissance mode. You guys are already at your target, so we're pretty much set. We're just waiting for this siege to be done, and I'm guessing they're either going to pull back and around, or they're going to come straight across the river at us. I really want to be invisible, too. Why don't you just start capturing some areas here? Another invention. I will take the siege ability since we're actively sieging. The next one I need to get is going to be the reduction of the impact of our aggressive expansion. That's going to be pretty important coming up because we're about to start dropping all of the demands all over the Etruscan people. If you're still visible, I'm guessing because we're bordering one of their territory areas. So if we conquer the bordering territory, will our unit go back to being hidden again? Oh, it looks like our good friends here. Oh, they actually just want to fight against Umbria. I mean, if they move away from this province, I'm going to go across the river and try to pin them down quite easily. Speed things up again. Siege of Khartoum is 1. Wow, that was pretty quick. I guess I'll move them on into... Where's the next fort? No more forts, so I'm going to go ahead and allow them to go into their own independent operations. As long as I keep a rough eye on... Oh, God. There was a full stack of enemies here I completely missed, but we immediately won that anyways, so that's great. We finally got our civic advance. And now you're still not visible, or you're still visible. I don't know what you need to become a ninja. No idea. Let's go ahead and see if I can't push the enemy here. I'm going to cross over. Oh, I can't move there. Lacking access. I mean, that's fine, I suppose. I don't think it's all that big of a deal. Where are you moving out of? Oh, they captured a fort here, so we are now in one of their zones of control. If you're wondering why we're moving out before we move next door to Persna, it's because we have to move out of the zone of control first and then back in a different route. I mean, we're going to conquer their entire nation before they even finish doing whatever the hell they're doing. Go ahead and go back into independent operations. I'll keep just my armies here. I didn't mean to double stack them. Yeah, we're losing 5% attrition, I think, from the supply. So we'll unstack those guys. Let's also gather up our navy. And I think I can finally go ahead and restore the balance to the fleet. It kind of start hurting us a little bit in income, but that's fine. We'll be strong. I'm going to get a group and send them across over to Corsica here to start that conquest as well. I mean, pretty easy. I think one of the things I was starting to think about, and probably if I do another playthrough of Rome, I'm going to start with the difficulty much higher. Well, at least one notch higher to test it out, because the early game, I mean, early game obviously a lot different than what you're going to see mid-game, I'm sure. A lot more developed nations, and, you know, Carthage, I'm sure, will be much stronger at that point. We've not even talked about going to the east at all. So Rome is, I mean, the biggest danger for Rome is internal politics, right? So that's what you're basically fighting. Our consul has gained the infection trait. His health is down by 0.2%. That's not good. Probably shouldn't have taken that sword to the chest or the arrow to the knee. Are we done with our navy expansion here? Not quite yet. Taking quite a long time. While we got money here, let's go ahead and do some civic buildings. I want to keep beefing up the tax rate. Let's do a couple of marketplaces. I'll do a bit of a mix here for... Oh, wow, that was expensive. I should have possibly paid more attention to that. That was super mega expensive. All right, let's bump up our income tax. It's going to reduce our research speed. You know what? Let's do this instead. Let's boost up the commerce, because the penalty is a reduction in research points if we go up a notch in taxation. If we go up a notch in the taxation for commerce, it's just the amount of slaves needed for surplus is more. Oh, is it? How can we find? At what point do we see where the surplus is? Here's the plains, so here's olives. Oh, hey, right there in front of me. So every city produces something. When you have a certain amount of slaves, you're going to produce one additional thing. Okay. That completely clears up a lot of the issues I've been having with understanding citizenship and all the different populations. Awesome. Okay. I should read the tooltips just a bit more. Let's go ahead and bring our existing navy over here. I think I'm going to take our good old... oh, did somebody die? Let's go bring our navy next door to Publius. And I think I'm going to send him across the river. We have a new ruler. What happened to the old ruler? It doesn't actually really tell us, does it? Can I go into... If I go into the family tree, if he died, we're not really going to be able to tell, are we? He was the leader of the military faction. Did he resign, or do we actually have... Oh, I must have canceled the elections permanently. The little notification, I think I right-clicked on it, and therefore I actually permanently stopped the notifications. I'm sure there's a way to reset that in the options, but for the moment, I'm okay. We need to choose a new Pontifex Maximus, which is the highest priest in the land. So let's find those who are zealous. Not a ton of you. No one wants to be the Pontifex Maximus. Does it make you giggle when I say biggest dickus? All right. So Monty Python references aside, we're almost done with this war. I do want to get somebody across the river to finish off Corsica, because we want to claim Corsica for ourselves once this war is all done. So we're going to have a nice spot in pushing into the Mediterranean just a bit, closer to Spain. We can blame the man on Spain. That's fine too. I'm going to give them all just independent actions. There's really not a whole lot going on. Scandal. Ordinarily, we would simply ignore such a petty squabble. However, one of our people, I can't tell if this is our family or not. Lover, spout. Okay, so basically none of our business. We get 5 support for the populist faction. Somebody loses some loyalty. We shouldn't tolerate public infidelity. Loses some prominence. Loses his position in the government. He is the Vulnarius. Or just have him flogged. The wife would gain 10 loyalty. She's already super high loyal, got a lot of loyalty. Anyways, I think I'm just going to take this as none of our business because it reduces loyalty where we already have a high amount. Oh, start seeing Marcia Tertia as a rival. That's so dramatic. I don't know. I'm going to remove this guy from office. Let's replace him with someone who's probably not as efficient. Oh, look. Someone is as efficient. Was this the same guy? Can I just immediately put him back in? I don't remember if this was him or not. Do we have anyone else that wants to become the Vulnarius? Oh, I'm missing an extra R in there. The doctor. Who wants to become the doctor? That's how I'm going to say that. Okay, let's give somebody... I need to get somebody across the way. There we go. You have 7,000 troops. So we should be able to put you all on the boat. Although we finally are finishing more of our triremes here. Once you're on the boat, we'll send them across. All it is, basically, you have to have enough ships to cover the amount of troops. So it's 7,000. All we needed was a size 7 Navy. They made that pretty simple. I think they are, by the way, Paradox is going to be working on a patch right after the game. I mentioned that before, but one of the big things is they wanted to change a bit of how the Navy worked. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. We have to get them on land, apparently, before I do that. You guys are running amok everywhere. Independent app. Oh, and we have them on independent operations. They're just not doing anything because there's nothing to be done for the most part. I think all we have to do is take over this fort. Oh, it's not even a fort. It's just the capital of this particular region. So if we have this region, we'll be able to demand it as part of our war goal. So we'll go ahead and give them the independent actions too. Awesome. What else do we have? War, unused trade route, lack of a commander. Who's that? Oh, the Navy that split off. Let's join that Navy with this Navy that's outside, just parked outside of Corsica. Why do we keep losing regions on the border here? That's mildly irritating. Are they like coming across or are they flipping because of... No, there's no unrest really. We'll just let our allies handle it. Sounds good to me. We had some more advances in civic and in religious. So now we have Pythagorean mathematics, more research points. I mean, I'm almost always going to take that. Although, I did say we wanted to look into removing or lessening the impact of our aggressive expansionism. I think the negative 5% is going to help a little bit, although... I mean, we did get rid of the aggressive expansion pretty easily, so maybe we don't take this right now, and we take extra research points as early as we can. Research, always, always, always a good thing. We want to export some furs. Sure. We accept. Take our furs. Give us your money. Be well. Who else is missing? Oh, we just have to stack them. Awesome. All right, folks, this seems as went a little bit longer than I anticipated, so I'll go ahead and start wrapping this episode up. We will finish off the conquering of the Etruscan people next episode to find out what to do with them and work on, again, reducing our bad boy. We should actually start finishing our integration soon. It looks like, though... Did we already integrate someone? I only see 3 diplomacy things up here now. So I think we integrated someone up there. A religious proceeding, a struggle between religious echelons of our society. Basically, the priests will be left alone. Ooh, stability cut is not great. Closed temples. A religious proceeding through the city will appease both sides. I'm all about appeasement. Let's do it. Ooh, this would gain us a stability point, though. It's time to open the gates of the temples. We gain a point of stability. The omen power and the duration would be reduced. And the Pontifex Maximus would lose a bit of loyalty. Now, he's not super disloyal, and we can buy his loyalty back. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and open the gates because I want one more stability, which did in fact give us a full 5% bonus to tax, research, and loyalty of subjects. So that's really, really huge. Awesome. And I'll bribe you. Hooray! All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, take care.